We have made it to the home stretch of Season 4 here in the Portland Trail Blazers, MyNBA franchise here on NBA 2K24. We've got probably 2 more episodes of the regular season and a lot up for grabs as the Western Conference is really anybody's race. We're currently in 4th, but we're in a 3-way tie for 2nd, and we're only half a game behind 1st place. We're also only 1 game out of 5th, and there's a number of teams on our tail outside of the top 5. The playoff race in the Western Conference has been unbelievably close this year, and it's been challenging for us to claw back to the top after our rough start, but we've been able to do so with Darius Springer, of course, making his first All-Star team, Shaedon Sharpe, Scoot Henderson, Khalil Griffin, all these guys stepping up, and we've done this with our team getting hit hard by the injury bug, and last episode was no exception. We had guys like Malachi Suleiman and Ashton Wisham recover from injuries, but we got 2 new ones. Ochai Agbaji, one of our key depth players, right arm hairline fracture. Enzo Shabazz, who we picked up at the trade deadline, torn hand ligament. Both of these guys will be out for the majority of, if not the entirety of the regular season, and hopefully we get them back as early as possible in the playoffs. But for at least most of the regular season, we're not going to have either of those guys available, which certainly hurts our depth. Before we keep going, though, I do have another prospect profile. We'll be going over some of the mid to late first rounders, and this is relevant. Of course, we had a swap best of our and the Miami Heat first round pick. And it's probably going to end up being the Heat pick because they're worse than us. They're currently right in the heart of the Eastern Conference play-in race. So chances are that pick is in the middle of the first round. And so if we keep our pick, a lot of the players we're going to talk about today could very well be targets for us. We already went over a lot of the top prospects previously. And of course, there's going to be guys who move up and down the board as the season continues to go along. Let's kick things off with Abramo Jawai from Baylor. And this is a really interestingly profiled player. 6'9", 230. He's got the strength of the big, but he's got the lateral movement skills of the guard. Offensively, there is a lot to improve upon, but I think the shot could be pretty good. I think it's his defensive versatility, though, that could get him drafted in the lottery, along with his long-term athletic upside. His versatility is going to make him a lot of money in this league. Jet Adams from Arkansas is one of the most aesthetically pleasing players to watch in the draft. A talented shot maker. He's a little bit inefficient and inconsistent at times, but his mid-range shot, his three-point shot, he knows how to get open. Really good passer. And defensively, checks off all the boxes. 6'4", 205, toughness, physicality. He's had a really strong freshman season and has played himself into lottery discussions. Arkeem Summers from Louisville is a great player, of course, has teamed up with Quillen Scalor, probably the best freshman duo in the country. And looking at Summers, he's one of the youngest players in the draft, but he's one of the best defensive players. Offensively, there's not really much of anything there right now, but on defense, this guy is a workhorse. He can play the 4 and the 5, 6'11", 250. He's a grown man at 18 years old. Feels kind of similar to a guy like Jalen Duren, coming out a few years ago with how big and imposing he was, essentially as a damn near high school prospect. Traquan Sterling from Maryland is a high-flying, athletic combo guard who I think could be a fun player at the next level. 3-way scorer, albeit inconsistent as a scorer, but the flashes are there. Playmaking upside and solid on the defensive end of the floor leads him to being a well-rounded wing player who could very well find himself in the lottery as he continues to have a strong season. Asher LeBlanc, the Canadian big man. This guy is big and powerful. Look at him posting up on the French center, who's a guy who we're going to talk about later today, and LeBlanc owns him. 7 foot 270. He is built like literal stone. Now, that certainly hurts his mobility a little bit. He doesn't really have much of an offensive game other than his ability to post up and grab offensive rebounds, but he's a force down low, and he is hard to stop. Polo Cotton from IMG Academy is one of the best passers in the class. That pass right there looked a little Mahomey. Now, as a scorer, he's a little bit inconsistent at times, and we haven't seen him play above high school competition yet, so that's still a major question mark. He's also not a particularly great defender, but his playmaking upside makes him an intriguing player. looking at some of the guys who are really projected in the late teens and our range. We'll start things off with this group of three: Higgins, Stone, and Roach. I want to look at Tyrese Stone, the guard out of Central Florida. One of the best shot makers in the class. Dynamic three-point shooter. He can score from every level of the floor, though. If nothing else, I think this guy can be a microwave scorer at the next level. I think he's a pretty good playmaker as well. Provides pretty much nothing, at least as of right now, defensively. But on offense, I think this kid's got a chance to be really good. Could be a good 6th or 7th man off the bench, but ideally, he can be consistent enough on the offensive end of the floor to be a long-term starting point guard. I think he has the ability as a facilitator to do it. Dominique Dorino from Villanova is a fun player. 6'3", 215 pounds. He's built like an NFL wideout. This is somebody who's really good at finishing inside. One of the best players in terms of scoring in contact, making the tough layups, throwing down the big-time dunks. I think he's a good mid-range shooter. Needs to improve the three ball, though. He is a good playmaker as a combo guard, and he's really impressive athletically. 6'10" wingspan is very nice at 6'3". He's not a good defender yet, but he's got the length to be potentially a good one. Wen Ra from France is a really interesting player. He's only 17 years old right now. Youngest player in the entire draft at the moment. I think he's got a lot of pick and roll upside as a roller and pick and pop upside as somebody who's got good touch from around 15 feet in the mid-range. At 6'11", 234 pounds, this dude's already a grown man, and he's a phenomenal interior defender. At just 17 years old, I think the upside with him is limitless. Emmanuel Ozuna from UCLA is a fun player. Good defensively. He can run the floor, as you can see here, and eventually throws down a powerful reverse slam. I think even though he doesn't really have much of an outside game yet, he is still a modern NBA big because of his ability to run the rim on offense and then run the floor on defense as well. Really good rebounder. I think he's got some shot-making upside down the line, but certainly needs to work on that. And then looking at some of the late first-rounders, we've got Cosmo Redman from Mater Dei. I think it would be in his best interest to go to college for a year or two and refine his game, but it looks like he wants to test the pro waters this year. In terms of his shot-making upside, I do definitely see it sticking in the NBA. He's a little bit undersized, though, 6'1", 190. So even if he's not going to grow in terms of height, I'd love to see him add 15 or 20 more pounds, try to bulk up, add some strength, and hopefully it doesn't take away from his really impressive quickness and agility. German wing Eamon Seaman is one of the older players in the draft. He's already 21 right now, but I think this is somebody who's going to be a really good player right away at the next level. Maybe the ceiling isn't super high, but this is a really good 3-and-D player. Stick him in the corner, he's going to knock threes, and he's going to give you good defense. At the end of the first round, that's what you're looking for. Atticus Stratton out of Michigan, in the same boat. He's a senior this year. Really impressive defensive player on his head after the block right there. He's a good shooter. He's solid inside as well on offense. His defensive grades here are not the best, but I think his effort and toughness is really solid on that end of the floor. And I think he plays a brand of winning basketball that a contender at the end of the first round is going to like and potentially look to add with him. Let's take a look at where the mock drafts stand. In terms of the guys at the top, it doesn't seem like there's a clear number one. I thought it would be the big man City Gafare. However, Oregon wing Bryson Franklin has kind of taken that over. As for us, they've given us Asher LeBlanc, the Canadian big man who we talked about a little bit earlier. 2K is the Knicks going with Caleb Marsh, so again, no clear number one pick right now. And they have us picking Emmanuel Ozuna from UCLA. NBA.com is Franklin at number one, and they have us picking Damari Radcliffe from Duke, one of the guys we talked about in the previous prospect profile. So all three of the mock drafts have us going with different centers. They think we're going to look to add some size, and that Porzingis, Shabazz, and Wisham won't be enough. Well, Shabazz, of course, is out, along with Ochai Agbaji, and so the rotation looks a little bit different. We're depending more on our starters. We're depending more on Anthony Simons, and Ashton Wisham is going to keep a role at least for the rest of the regular season, with him being the only true backup big on the roster who is capable of consistent NBA minutes. So I think I definitely want to play this game against the Milwaukee Bucks. They currently have the best record in the entire NBA, as they currently sit with around 50 wins atop the Eastern Conference and comfortably 4 games over the Cavs for second place. So we're going to simulate our next two against the Nuggets, who are pretty bad, and the Nets, who are pretty mediocre. We beat the Nuggets and get smacked by the Brooklyn Nets, 135-114. Not ideal to get blown out by a mediocre at best team in Brooklyn. Michael, the possession is over. Porter Jr. with 26 points and 0 assists. That's shocking. As for us on offense, we were fine, I guess, for the most part. Some guys had some good games. Griffin with nearly a triple-double. But we also had some guys who were kind of inefficient. Porzingis 0 for 4 from deep. Simons, another inefficient shooting game. His lack of consistency on offense has been a killer. So let's take a look at the Bucks, who have clinched a playoff spot outright, while we have dropped to 5th, 2 games out of first place. So how are the Bucks so good? Because they've been kind of bad over the last few years. Well, they re-signed Giannis Antetokounmpo. Giannis's master plan was that he would be traded to the Spurs, win a championship, and go back to Milwaukee. I don't know how it happened, but it did. The Bucks acquired a second star in R.J. Barrett over the offseason. Maybe he's not a traditional second star, but clearly he's getting the job done with other young guys like Ishmael Iverson, James Wiseman, and Javon Tyler really producing. They've kept veterans like Bobby Porter Jr. and Tobias Harris. Dante DiVincenzo is back. They're really bringing the old gang back together. They've got Robert Williams. And at the trade deadline, they acquired Kobe Buffkin and reacquired Chris Middleton. They really are bringing the 2021 team back together, bringing back Giannis, Middleton, and DiVincenzo over the past offseason. Regular starting lineup for the Blazers. The Bucks are going to be mixing it up a little bit. No Kobe Buffkin at the 2. Instead, they're going to play big with R.J. Barrett starting at shooting guard and Chris Middleton getting the start at the 3 as we are underway. Scoot Henderson drives inside, gets it over to Khalil Griffin. Griffin's doubled. Somebody's open. Scoot Henderson pulls the 3, and it's good. Scoot Henderson's been very inconsistent in big games this year. I feel like he's got a lot to show today as Ishmael Iverson Jr. is in with the jumper. Iverson, a late first-rounder a couple years ago by the Bucks, has really turned into a good player for them as he gets the steal in transition. Porzingis with a hand in his face. Good job by Porzingis to stay with him the entire way, force the contest. On the other end, Springer, no good. Grabs his own rebound. Springer, no good. Grabs his own rebound. Springer, no good again. 0 for 3 inside. Yikes. Portland has not scored in close to 3 minutes. They've got to get something here on offense. Springer, pump fake, inside, and the layup is good. Darius Springer makes up for his cold streak, I guess, as it's 5-10. Khalil Griffin with a powerful one-handed slam. The second-year forward out of Tennessee continues to really step up for this team. The only guy who's played in every game so far, as Porzingis' pass is tipped and intercepted by the Greek Freak. Giannis is double-teamed. Iverson open in the corner, nails the triple. Smart play there by Giannis to recognize the open shooter, and good play off the ball by Iverson to find the open corner and hit the shot. Barrett, little pick and roll action for the Time Lord, Robert Williams, as Darius Springer looked like he had no clue what was going on that possession. Middleton hits the triple, and it's 18-11. The Bucks so far look like the best team in the league the way they're playing, especially defensively. They've been really impressive there. Shaedon Sharpe, though, with a nice drive and a beautiful dunk. 18-13. Giannis brings it up. The Greek Freak, Giannis Antetokounmpo, in for the layup. Cool to see him back as the number 1 option after he kind of deferred with Victor Wembanyama, although he was the number 1 option in the finals when Wemby got hurt. What the steal? Springer is fouled for 3. Giannis, you've been in the league 15 years. How do you not know the rule? Don't foul the jump shooter. Here's Scoot Henderson. Oh, my goodness. Annihilates the defender. That was Bobby Portis. Scoot Henderson just caught a body, folks, as it's 24-20. Bobby Portis looking to respond. Double clutch, and his shot is good. Portis is one of 4 players on the 2021 Bucks team who is still here, but he's the only one who hasn't left the team at any point. Scoot Henderson on the move. Mid-ranger is good, and Scoot's got 7 early, 24-28. Here's Javon Tyler, former top 10 pick out of Kansas a couple years ago. He gets it to Jonathan Wiggum for 3. If you remember, Wiggum was the guy we really wanted to draft last year, but the Bucks ultimately got him before we could move up. 26-31. Here's Javon Tyler. Inside. Layup is good. Rock chalk as the former Kansas Jayhawk makes the play. 26-33. Here's Simons at the end of the quarter. Bang! Simons with the step back 3. If he got it off in time, that will go. But we've got to take a look at the replay. Did he get the three off? And as you can see right there, with around 0.2 of a second, he does get the shot off in time. The three counts, and the lead is cut to 4. 33-29. Portland really did not get much going from beyond the arc in the first quarter, so hopefully that can be a sign of things to come here in the second. Tyler inside to Tobias Harris, who is in for the slam. Anthony Simons knew it was a mismatch. He clearly didn't know what he was going to do there as the pass is tipped. Wisham ends up with it. Misses the layup, though. You are 7'3". Make the shot. On the other end, Giannis with the layup. Malachi Suleiman's a great defender, but he's also like 6'2". Not much he can do with Giannis. 8-point game. Giannis out to Tobias Harris in the corner. Sharp was expecting drive. Harris hits the three. Bucks up by 11. Milwaukee's really starting to turn on the Jets here in the second quarter. Why stop now? James Wiseman in for the layup. Once upon a time, Wiseman looked like a bust, but he's really carved out a nice role here in Milwaukee. 13-point game. Shaedon Sharp. He's blocked right into the hands of Porzingis, who hits the jumper. Unethical, but it works. Shaedon Sharp rips it away with the steal. He's got Porzingis out to Griffin. Inside for Logan, who's snuffed by Giannis. Blazers get it back. Sharp inside. No good. Giannis is playing some ridiculous defense today. My lord. Still 42-31. Simons with a powerful slam as Inferno sends it home. 33-42. Here's Porzingis now. Gets it over to Khalil Griffin, who somehow floats that one in over Giannis. Really impressive play. 7-point game. Logan open three, no good. Porzingis has it tipped back over to him. Out to Griffin. Pump fake. Drives right side. Griffin with the slam again. His ability to slither inside is really impressive as Scoot Henderson dimes it over to Porzingis. The Zinger throws it down. 39-42. Ishmael Iverson, no good. Nice defense there by Henderson. Porzingis on the rebound in transition. Griffin, three for the tie. It's good. Nice ball movement there by the Blazers. That was Springer with the assist, and we're knotted up at 42. Portland on an 11-0 run. Milwaukee looking to put an end to it, and they do right here. A long two for R.J. Barrett. Lob is unsuccessful. Blazers with the interception. That was Porzingis. Sharp lobs it up for Griffin with the 360 layup. I feel like if he slammed that home, that would have been sick, but that works too. 2 points is 2 points, and we're tied at 44 now. Here comes R.J. Barrett on the drive. He's doubled. Who's going to be open? Bobby Portis hits the three at the top of the key, and Four Eyes puts Milwaukee on top by 3. Shaedon Sharp with the drive. Sharp with the beautiful slam. Shaedon Sharp continuing to score at a high level. Started the year off slowly, but really ever since the start of December, he's been great. Fadeaway three is good. That's Cash Money Chris Middleton, who knocks it down. 6-point game. Bucks right back on top after the big run by Portland. Fadeaway triple for Scoot Henderson is good off the screen by Springer. Big basket for Portland. Scoot's in the double figures. Iverson looks to answer back. He does. Ishmael Iverson connects on the triple. 10-point game now. Milwaukee ahead with a little over a second left in the half as Simons gets it at the buzzer. No good as he airballs it short. The Blazers were down by 11 at one point in the second quarter. They did enough to tie it, but they're right back down by 10. This has been a game of runs, and hopefully Portland can get on an early run in the second half. So far, the offense has been pretty underwhelming. Milwaukee's showing the main reason why that their team has been so good this year is their defense, their length, their size. This might be the biggest team in the league. They can have lineups with like 5 guys on the floor where everybody's at least like 6'10". There's Porzingis, line 2. Good start to the third quarter for Portland's offense. Barrett on the drive and the 360 throwdown. Rowan Alexander Barrett Jr. makes it a 10-point game. Middleton spin move. Middleton. I didn't know he had motion like that. He's pushing 40. King James, Chris Middleton, puts Milwaukee on top by a dozen. Now 10, make it 8. Springer with a nice slam, and it's 55-63. Here comes Khalil Griffin on the drive. Sharp open. Pump fake, even though there was nobody there. And he ends up making the layup. 57-65. Here's Giannis with it. Guarded by Griffin. Giannis left side. Pump fake. Jumper is good. Antetokounmpo makes it a 10-point game. Giannis in the MVP race, likely won't win it because of Wembanyama, but he'll be in that top 5 for sure. Scoot Henderson throws it off of the defender, gets it back, out to Sharp. Pump fake, Sharp in with the layup and count the foul! And one for Shaedon Sharp, who looked like he wanted to dunk on Robert Williams, but hey, that works too. And Sharp makes it a 5-point game. In transition, Malachi Suleiman gets it over to Sharp again, left side. Sharp floats it up and in. Shaedon Sharp was really inefficient in the first half, 6 points on 3 of 10 shooting, but he's definitely picked it up here in the third. Here's Barrett with it. Pump fake, floater is good for RJ. Even though the Blazers have been able to stay in the entire game, Milwaukee's had control the entire time. The last time the Blazers had the lead, it was like 3-2. Well, at the turnover, RJ Barrett with the layup. The best offense is good defense, and it's a 9-point game. Pump fake, Springer, Simons at the top of the key, gets the screen, fadeaway triple is good. Portland needed a big bucket to get some momentum, and that they get from Anthony Simons. 74-70, Barrett looking to get by Griffin, and he does. RJ Barrett bullying kids out here. Darius Springer, 3 no good. Wisham with the rebound. Putback attempt will not fall. Portland's offense continues to be very shaky today, and then on the other end, step back, Tobias Harris. Again, I didn't know he could move like that, being one of the older players in the league. 70-76, Simons with it, hoping to get somebody open off the screen. It's Zay Logan, top of the key, 3. Buries the hatchet. Zay Logan connects on the triple. 78-73, pull-up jumper for Javon Tyler is no good. Final seconds of the third. It's Zay Logan with it. Step back, doesn't get it off in time. Doesn't matter because the shot was no good. Not much has really changed here in the third. Portland cuts the lead in half from 10-5, so I guess that's a win. But overall, Milwaukee's been able to maintain control as we move into the fourth. It looks like Scoot Henderson loses it. Tyler with the steal on the other end. Tyler, no good! Scoot Henderson follows him the entire way with the stop on the other end. Out to Logan. Bang! Buries the 3. A 5-point swing off the stop by Scoot, who then makes the great pass, and Logan knocks down another triple. Javon Tyler does get this one to fall. Had great defense on him, but he still makes it. 78-80. Here's Sharp out to Wisham. He's got Springer. Pull-up jumper to the tie is good. Springer with only 11 points. He's been super inefficient. 1 of 6 in the third quarter alone, but he does get that one to tie it. Bucks looking to get their lead back, and they do. It's Javon Tyler who makes it 82-80. Malachi Suleiman. Crossover. Suleiman slam! Nice play there by the young guard out of Duke, and we're tied at 82. 7.5 to go. Giannis guarded by Suleiman. That is a mismatch. Again, Suleiman's a great defender, but Giannis has got 9 inches on him, and I don't know if that's the only 9-incher that Giannis has. Shaedon Sharp! Oh me, oh my! Big slam for Shaedon Sharp, showing off the bag of tricks like he's a magician. Portland now leads 85-84, but not for long. And one. Tobias Harris with the play. That was Porzingis called for the foul. 85-87, 6.5 to go. Tyler, jumper, no good. Time Lord with the rebound, and Robert Williams gets the putback slam. 85-89. Portland is in takeover mode. Shaedon Sharp, crossover. Sharp, dime in the corner. Scoot Henderson knocks down the open 3. Portland has shot the long ball a lot better in the second half than they did in the first. But Milwaukee is there with a quick response. It's Javon Tyler with the dunk. Henderson with a beautiful pass to Porzingis, who misses a routine layup. Gotta make that one. On the other end, Giannis with it. Right side, guarded by Scoot. Again, that's a mismatch. Giannis is a lot bigger. He's only got 15 points today. It feels like he has more. On the other end, quick 3. It's Porzingis who knocks it down. That was a fast response. Only a 2-point game. Giannis looking to get one back, and he does! Antetokounmpo off the screen. Hits the 3 on the wing. 5-point game again. Logan nearly loses it. Gets it back. Good response by Zay Logan, who's had a strong game. 14, 3, and 3. 95-96. Giannis is an open man. It's RJ Barrett who hits the top of the key 3. Nobody covered him there. Can't let that happen. Here's Scoot Henderson, fade away. Long ball is good. That was like 3 feet beyond the line. He was faded away out of bounds and still makes it. There's Porzingis with the steal. Portland can take the lead with 3 to go. Griffin, long-range 3, it's good! Khalil Griffin has the Trailblazers up by a pair. 101-99, Giannis pushes off for the slam, and we're tied at 101. Portland calls time. Grab your popcorn, kiddos. We're looking at quite the ending. Here's Giannis with it. Another 3. It's good again. Giannis has Milwaukee up 104-101. Sharp in the corner for Griffin. Pump fake out to Springer. He's going to look to go inside. Gets it to Porzingis. Great pass by Darius Springer, and Porzingis makes another nice play inside. 1-point game, 2 to go. Giannis guarded by Griffin. Griffin doing the best he can as he gets the stop. Good defensive play by Griffin. Portland can take the lead here. Griffin keeps it. Crossover, right side. Griffin, no foul! Wow! I thought that was a clear as day call on the other end. Iverson hits the jumper. Let's look at this again, though. Griffin on the drive. As you can see here, his arm very clearly gets hit, and the motion of the ball is very clearly altered. Giannis never touched the ball. That's a horrible no call by the officials. That might be a 4-point swing, and very well could determine the outcome of this game. Portland's got some extra work to do. Down by 3, minute and a half. Henderson blocked at the rim by Robert Williams. Blazers keep it, 6 on the clock. They can't get anyone open, though. Griffin out to Scoot Henderson. Heaves up a prayer in the corner. Bang! Scoot Henderson ties it at 106. What a shot. He's got 25. Following Bucks possession, Giannis's layup is good for the lead. 108-106. Scoot Henderson out to Springer. Thought about the 3, doesn't take. Inside, Porzingis. Layup is good, and we're tied at 108. Man, we're in for a great final minute. Giannis on the drive. Jumper, no good. Griffin skies in for the rebound. That was Porzingis with the contest, and the Blazers now have an opportunity to take the lead. Risky pass for Scoot Henderson. Henderson guarded by R.J. Barrett. Looking to drive right side. Henderson is blocked by Williams, who's fouled by Porzingis. The Bucks are going to call time. Tied at 108 with 26 seconds left. Even though the shot clock is still on, they can hold for a while. We're going to bring in our defensive lineup. That would not include having Shaedon Sharpe at the 5. What the hell, 2K? Basically our regular 5, but instead of Sharpe in the game, it's going to be Malachi Suleiman. Normally this would be Agbaji, but instead it'll be Suleiman with Agbaji's injury. So obviously I think they're going to look to get the ball to Giannis, and we got to make sure Giannis does not get an easy drive. If we can force a jumper, that will be great. He's probably not going to look for a jumper, especially early on the possession, but you never know. Maybe he does something crazy. So there's just under 26 seconds to go. Williams on the inbound. He gets it to Ishmael Iverson. Keep an eye on Giannis, though. He's guarded by Griffin, not Springer. That's interesting. Iverson's going to continue to hold. Again, the Bucks are in no hurry. Clock is ticking. 10 on the shot clock, 12 on the game clock. Giannis finally in motion. Iverson's still with it. There's 5 seconds left on the shot clock. No sense of urgency. Iverson looks like he's going to take it himself for the lead. No good. Scoot Henderson with the defensive stop. He grabs the rebound, and Portland gets it with 2 seconds exactly. So we basically need our best catch-and shooters in the game because we're going to get the ball, and we're going to quickly have to heat it up. So Sharpe's going to come in the game for Suleiman. Between Porzingis and Griffin, I think I'm going to keep Porzingis in the game because he's got size. So that could help on an inbounds pass. He will be the one passing it. And then, obviously, Anthony Simons is going to be in the game, along with, of course, the rest of the starters. Porzingis on the inbound. He's going to look for Sharpe. Step back for the win. No good. We're going to overtime. I think that was Giannis who was able to get the shot contest. So another overtime game. The last time we had an overtime game was very recently, a couple episodes ago, against the Spurs, and that game was nutty. With Josh Hart, of course, hitting the game winner for San Antonio as Portland wins the tip. And we are underway. 108, getting some extra basketball. Springer, turnaround over Iverson. It's good. That's a mismatch, and he takes advantage. Springer with only 14 points has been quiet today, but that was a big one. Here's Barrett, gets it over to Williams. And he beats the shot clock for the tie. Big shot by Robert Williams, tied at 110. Nearly halfway through the overtime period, not a lot of offense as Giannis gets the steal. Iverson's blocked at the rim. by Khalil Griffin, who's showing off the fly swatter. Following possession, here's Robert Williams with it. Doubled out to Giannis. 10 on the shot clock. Giannis, mismatch. Giannis is fouled. He'll go to the line to shoot 2. First one would be no good. Second one, also no good. He misses them both. Big opportunity for the Blazers in transition. Pass is tipped, and it looks like Portland will hold on. They wouldn't score, though, so Milwaukee's going to get it back. They can get the lead. Giannis, wide open lane. 2, easy. He puts the Bucks up by 2. Sharp looking to post up on Iverson. Layup for the tie is no good. Sharp thought he could use his strength on Ishmael Iverson, but clearly not. On the other end, Giannis, layup, effortless. Bucks up by 4. Here's Scoot Henderson now, under a minute to go. This is it, pick and roll. Henderson is fouled himself by Middleton. He would go to the line now to shoot 2. First one is no good. Not the time to miss if you're Scoot Henderson. Second one will fall. It's a one-possession game now, 111, 114. When does Portland go for the foul? That's the next question, because there's still around 50 seconds left. Got to be mindful of this clock. Giannis looks to drive immediately, and he loses it. Porzingis strips it. It's stolen by Griffin. On the other end, Sharp, open 3 for the tie. No good. That was the opportunity. He was wide open and doesn't get it to fall off of the big defensive play by Porzingis. Giannis inside, misses again. Springer with the rebound. Still a 3-point game. Scoot Henderson's going to drive. He's going to take the 2 as he makes the layup. Lead sits at 1. I imagine the Blazers are going to look to foul quickly. And indeed, that's exactly what happens. Iverson is fouled. He'll go to the line for 2. The former Penn State Nittany Lion with 23.4 on the clock as he misses the first one. The Bucks have been money at the line, but they've missed 3 here in overtime as they finally get one to fall here in the overtime period. It's a 2-point game with 23.4 seconds left, and we're in an interesting position here. As a wise man once told me, we've got options, not obligations. We've got plenty of different choices on offense. Do we want to hold, or do we want to go for a quick shot? Do we want to go for a 2, or do we want to go for a 3? We've got plenty of different scenarios that we can choose to go with here, and we can play it out. If we want to go for a quick shot but don't like anything, we can switch and look to hold for the buzzer. But obviously, no matter what happens, we've got to get a good look off, whether it's a 2 or a 3. Simons in the game. Griffin, the only starter, out. Simons with the ball, gets it over to Porzingis. No open shots for Portland. It looks like they're going to end up holding for a little bit. Scoot Henderson has it with around 8 to go. Henderson on the drive, inside for Springer. Pump fake, Springer. Layup is good! Darius Springer ties it at 115 with 3.3 seconds left. The possession wasn't pretty, but it gets the job done. So what's the play here for Milwaukee? Do they realistically have enough time to get the ball in for Giannis and have him get a nice drive? I don't know if the answer is yes, but I don't want to find out because obviously Giannis is the guy who realistically they're looking to get the shot off here. They didn't go to him at the end of the fourth quarter, which was weird. So we'll see what they do here. Williams on the inbound. Will he get it to Giannis? No, he's going to go to Barrett. This one's from around 35 feet for the win, and it nearly goes in, but it rattles out. And through the first overtime, we don't have a winner. Only 7 points scored by each team in overtime number 1. And that means we are headed to a second overtime. Tip-off this time will be won by Porzingis, who lost the initial tip-off, but has won both of them here in OT so far. Bucks looking to score first, though. Here's Middleton with it. Pops the 3. It's good. That's a long 2, excuse me. And it's a 2-point Milwaukee lead. Logan and Simons looking to check in. Interesting decision by the Blazers. Middleton, this one's definitely a 3, and it's good. Cash Money Chris with the first 5 points of overtime for Milwaukee. Portland's offense has got nothing going so far as Giannis misses. Grabs his own rebound. Pump fake. Middleton. Corner 3. Cash again! Middleton with all 8 points here in the double overtime. And things are not looking good for the Blazers. Their offense has gone ice cold. Iverson. Giannis. 3. No good. But Williams is there with the rebound and he gets the putback. Bucks up by 10. Portland calls time. This is looking like a disaster. We've been outscored 10-0 so far here in the second overtime. It ain't looking good. Simons heaves up a prayer. No good. Porzingis with the offensive rebound and the putback. Lead down to 8. I don't know. Maybe that play can give us something. Iverson brings it up from Milwaukee with a minute and a half to go. And Giannis is going to get called for a backcourt. Again, our chances are slim, but you never know. 3 is no good for Simons. Milwaukee with the rebound. And here comes Iverson. Around a minute 10 left. Robert Williams on the drive. Layup is good. And that brings the lead back up to 10. At this point, it's really not looking good for Portland. They would get a shot by Porzingis on the other end. Iverson no good. I don't know why Milwaukee rushed that. They should have looked at shoe clock. Here's Logan now. Off the catch. No good, but Porzingis gets the putback slam. Kristaps has all 6 Blazer points in double overtime. He's really the only guy who's shown up here. On the inbound with 43 seconds, it's Iverson out to Giannis. Let him shoot it. No good. Rebound by Williams. His shot is no good. Again, I don't know why Milwaukee's not holding. They're getting cute. Logan, corner 3. Bang! 1-score game. Portland might not be out of it. We still need a lot to go our way, but it's not entirely over. Giannis is fouled by Logan, and he makes 1, which all things considered could be a lot worse. It's a 2-score game, but not for long. Deep 3 for Simons. The lead is within 1. As Barrett is fouled, he'll go to the line to shoot 2. First one for the lefty will fall. Second one now for RJ is up and in. He goes 2 for 2. Portland was down by 10 30 seconds ago, and now they have a chance to theoretically tie it. Only down by 3 as they're not going to call a timeout despite having one. It looked like they wanted to go for the quick 2, but no one's open, so now they're going to have to go for the 3. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Nearly intercepted by Giannis. Simons with it. Gotta shoot this ball sooner than later. 2 seconds on the clock. Simons heaves up a prayer. He's fouled! Middleton! Don't foul the jump shooter! Simons is going to get 3 at the line with a chance to tie it. Jazz hands, people. First one is good for Inferno. Lead down to 2. Second one. That one is good. Lead goes down to 1. Now for the tie. Anthony Simons. Ice in his veins. We're knotted up at 1:30. Portland was down by 10 not even a minute ago. What an improbable comeback by the Blazers. But they still got to get another stop here. There's 1.6 seconds left. If the Bucks aren't going to go to Giannis when there's more time, they're not going to go to him here. I think they really only have one choice, and that's just to have someone catch the ball and heave up a shot. I think they would be most comfortable giving the ball to RJ Barrett. He seems to be their go-to catch-and-shoot guy. I think they're looking for him. So let's just try to make sure he does not get a good look. Can the Bucks win it here in double overtime? Williams with it, gets it to Barrett. Long 3 for the win is no good. And we are going to a third overtime. Despite being down by 10 with under a minute to go, the Blazers get an improbable comeback, and they've got the momentum. Here in overtime number 3. Iverson inside to Middleton. Layup is good. Chris Middleton's been clutch scoring-wise in overtime, but that foul on Simons could prove to be a killer. Porzingis has a mismatch, but he's called for an offensive 3-second. That's a bad blow for the Blazers. They had 2 easy points there. Catch and shoot 3. No good for Milwaukee. Rebound by Logan, who's still in the game along with Simons. Here's Shaedon Sharpe. Layup is good for the tie. We're knotted up at 132. 2:28 left here in triple overtime. Still no sign of either team breaking away. Barrett with a prayer. What was he thinking? No good. Springer with his 14th rebound. Out to Sharpe. Long range 3. It's good! Shaedon Sharpe with a really impressive shot. 135-132. Around 2 to go. Here is Ish Iverson for the tie. It's good! 135-135. Blazers back with it. Sharpe gets it to Griffin. Whoop! Pump fake. Layup for the lead is good. And Khalil Griffin puts the Blazers up by 2. Iverson inside for Giannis. Giannis, turnaround jumper. No good. And somebody's hurt. It's Kristaps Porzingis. Porzingis has been money here in overtime, so that sucks, and obviously could be a big loss long-term as Springer misses a dunk. Man, that's a killer. That could have been a gigantic play. as Iverson gets that one over Ashton Wisham, who's in its center for Kristaps, and we're tied at 137. Griffin drives right by the basket, sends it to Springer, who hits the corner three. That's a bold decision by Griffin, but it pays off. Giannis, Wiseman, long two. No, Griffin with the rebound is 10th. Running the floor, Khalil Griffin blows by everybody. He's in for the dunk, and the Trailblazers lead by 5. Big possession here for Milwaukee. Giannis with it. Giannis with room for 3. He misses it. As you can tell, these players are completely gassed. Wisham with the rebound. He's fouled. Scoot is not fouled off the inbound. Here's Sharp wide open. Dagger talk! The Bucks bait us into shooting just as we did with them, and it backfires. That one is no good. Springer with it, and he's going to look to put an exclamation on this one. What a win for the Trailblazers as they finish the game on a 10-0 run, and will take it 147-137 in triple overtime. Whoa! That was quite the game. I'm pretty sure I just titled one of the most recent episodes Game of the Year. I think that would have been the Spurs game. This was 10 times better. Are you kidding me? This was incredible. How often has a team in NBA history been down by 10 in the overtime period and won the game by at least 10? There's no way that's ever happened before, right? Giannis with 30, 12, 7, 4, and 4, doing literally everything, albeit on 27 shots. Iverson was solid. Barrett was solid. Williams with 21 rebounds. Middleton with some big shots late. As for us, super well-rounded effort. 28-8 for Scoot. Kind of quiet in overtime. He was exhausted. Sharp with 23. Big shots in the last OT. Springer with 21, albeit Sharp and Springer each did it on 22 shots each. Porzingis, 19, 11, 3, and 4 steals on great shooting. Griffin was really impressive. But I think the two guys who deserve the most credit are Logan and Simons, coming into the game in that second overtime to give us a spark when our guys were exhausted. They both hit some big shots, and if not for putting them in, we would not have won the game. So obviously we're feeling a high after beating the best team in the league on the road like that, but it's not all fun and games. Porzingis strained hip. It's not a serious injury, and we've got a decision to make with him. It's probably a 2-week injury, which is most of the regular season, but he can play through it. But the last thing we need is for him to be hurt going into the playoffs. So we want to be aggressive and try to help our seeding as much as possible, but we've also got to be smart with him, especially considering Porzingis is not getting any younger, and he's had a long history of injuries in the past. So we're going to have to be mindful. But with how close this race for seeding is, we need all the wins we can get. And we've got some really tough games down the stretch. We have to play Sacramento, Charlotte, the Bucks again, the Spurs. And we've got other good teams here like Dallas, Toronto, Memphis is solid, Detroit's a good team. We've got a brutally hard schedule to finish out the year in what should be a really fun episode to wrap up the regular season. That'll be next time. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Peace out.